Hi everyone.
Hello there, good evening.
Thanks for tuning in today. And if you're not watching it live, thanks for watching a little bit later on. So we've got a few things to talk about tonight, haven't we?
We've got what we do. Well, we've got this thing about time, health,
Money
and money,
and
and
how
how
that
that
changes.
changes throughout your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I want to go through though is about who we spend our time with,
That's
and
yeah.
and how that changes as we get to retirement. Because I think that's a really important one. That one,
Yeah.
in terms of our lifestyle and friends and connections and that kind of thing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about drawdown accounts, because I think that confuses a lot of people, doesn't it?
It was me.
We'll just go into a bit of a brief discussion about that as well. But also, let me show the most important thing tonight, which is the beer can.
Going for first.
Well, I like a stout.
Okay. Just give me the little glass.
Yeah, okay. So these are bottled conditioned, which means you've got to be a little bit careful, actually. I don't know how busy these are going to be. Oh, I should have tested these. I can't open them. So usually pour these quite vigorously.
Okay.
Oh, that's got a great head on it, hasn't it? But with bottled conditioned, the really important thing is that you don't take the last bit out of the bottle. You've got to have them standing up all the time, not shaking about at all, because they actually condition improve in the bottle.
Oh, okay.
So you do get bits of the beer, kind of the sedimentary bits in the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
So it's important. Absolutely gorgeous, but it's important not to pour the last bit.
Okay.
Wine's a bit like that sometimes, isn't it? You
can get all the tannins and things at the bottom. Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? COVID. See live videos, didn't we?
Have you woken up for a taste of beer?
Oh, that's lovely. That was really nice, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So much better than Guinness, isn't it? It's lighter, isn't it?
A lot lighter than Guinness, yeah.
That's a crack of that.
Yeah. Cheers, David. That's really nice.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Okay.
And defeat when you sit back.
So we're going to talk about pensions. Okay, so let me go to this first slide here. So I think this is an interesting one. So what we got here, if we focus on that pink line first, this is how we spend our time. At the bottom of the chart there, we've got in our 20s, when we're 45, when we're 70, and when we're 90. Okay, so if you look at the pink line, in our 20s, we spend hardly any time alone. The line's right at the bottom there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you're very rarely on your own in your 20s. You're either starting a new job or at university, or you're out with mates drinking.
Yeah.
You're not spending a lot of time generally on your own. Then as you get towards 45, you're spending a bit more time on your own, because you're not spending as much time on your own, because you're spending a lot more time with your partner and your kids.
You are, yeah. So it's not so much friends; it's more, your family bubble.
Yeah, your close family, isn't it? Yeah, as in your partner, really. Yeah. Okay. Then and that will continue right up into your 70s. You'll continue
with people.
Yeah. Okay. But then what happens then is, in terms of alone time, we find that goes right up. So, you know, sadly, when we get to age 90 there, we find a lot of people suffering with loneliness, that kind of thing, spending, you know, vast amounts of time on their own,
Alone, yeah.
too much time, really.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the orange line. And this is how much time you spend with your partner. So in your 20s, you know, typically you'll have days away with the lads and you'll be away with the girls,
Yeah,
and all that kind
yeah.
of thing. And then,
Yeah.
you know, as you move in towards 45 on, you're spending time with family holidays with your partner.
More time with your partner, yeah,
More
definitely.
time with your partner. And hopefully we're at this stage now that we're both going to retire at the same time next year.
Yeah.
And we'll be spending more time again. So, you know, right up and through retirement, we'll be spending more time together.
Yeah. The expectation is into our, older age. Yeah.
And then these are averages, don't forget. So what happens then is when you get to 70, people start losing their partners, don't they? So, you know, find a lot of people after the 70s become widowed. One or other will pass away or go into a nursing home.
It's people going into care homes and nursing homes, yeah.
And if you do get divorced in your mid-60s, a lot of people don't get married again, do they? Which means they don't spend as much time either. Now, the really important one that's kind of under our control, and I know you and I talk about this, and we're not going to let this happen to us because these are averages. The blue line.
Yeah.
So in your 20s, spend a huge amount of time with friends, don't you?
You
family,
do, yeah.
Wider family,
friends,
family,
friends,
colleagues, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you can get to 45, it starts to really dip.
And it does, because you kind of got your family, your close family, and you're focusing on them, you're focusing on work, you're focusing on your children, and you can let that other reduce.
It's really important it doesn't go down to the bottom there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a study about men losing friends kind of in the 50s, and, you know, then, you know, struggling. Really.
Yeah.
And I know it happens with women as well. So I'm determined not to have this happen. So I've really picked up my relationships with friends and family recently. Spent a lot of time going to gigs, as you know, because it's what a lot of my friends like to do. What we're doing tomorrow, going hiking.
Going hiking.
I'm scared to death.
So am I.
All my friends like really fit, and I am just not. And I know I'm
sure you'll have a great time.
I'm going to get lost on the mountain, and there'll be mountain rescue, St. Bernards running around. Yeah. So
it's important that you really keep your wider circle close and stay in contact.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's one I think you've got under control. You're doing a lot more with your friends lately as well, and your family as well, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I've just come back from a holiday with wider family, and you know, and I see my friends regularly. All getting close to retirement age at the same time, and we're even making plans together as to what we're going to do when we retire. So it's not just me and Eric. Me and my friends are going, okay, well, we're going to go. You know, we'll join in this class, or we'll do this class. So
so absolutely vital, that one, which is why I wanted to go through it really. Let's have a look at the next one then. So on this one, what we're talking about here then is total amount of resources that we got broken down into three things: your money, your health, and your time. So if we just focus on the orange one, which is time, when you're in your 20s, you've got loads of time left. You know, you're looking forward and it feels like it's never ending. Getting to your 50s and you're aware that there's an end in sight, aren't you? But it's not. It's
still in the distance.
In there of orangeness,
yeah.
When you get then into your 70s, I don't know because I'm not there, but you have got less time left, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think you're aware of it as well. Yeah.
So the moral of this slide really is all about leaving it too late. You know, some people really struggle to get out of that accumulation phase and into the decumulation phase. You know, look at Warren Buffett. You know, I think he's 95 or something, isn't he? He's got all the billions in the world. He still goes to work every day.
Yeah.
You know, he might be an exception, mightn't he? But there is a lot of people who don't really do their budgets and don't know they can retire.
Yeah, it's almost that thought of one more year.
Yeah.
And then before you know it,
you've come down with a stroke, or you know, your knee's gone.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And we know people, don't we, who've got to 55, and then all of a sudden something's happened,
Sadly,
and they've not been able to enjoy retirement as much as they'd really hoped.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, moral of this is, if you can do your numbers well enough that you can gain confidence, then it'll stop you slipping into that one more year just to be sure.
Yeah.
You reckon that there's so many Roman ruins around because they were so bad at maths, because they weren't sure if it was going to fall down.
They built them really well.
Yeah. But
really,
when you're saving for your retirement, if you leave it too late, you might have accumulated plenty of assets money wise, but you've got no time left, and your health might have gone as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we have really worked hard on this, and we
understanding our budget, where we spend, what our retirement budget might look like, because it's going to look different, because you haven't got work expenses, you haven't got work clothes, lunch, travel, but equally you will probably spend more of your money socializing. 7-day weekend.
7-day weekend. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm really happy. So what's the app that we use? We've got an app, haven't we? Snoop. Yeah. So that's been a game changer for us.
Yeah, it really has. Yeah.
So what Snoop does, it attaches to all your bank accounts, credit cards, debit cards, everything, doesn't it? And it brings them all into one place, and then it'll automatically categorize everything that you spend into whatever you set up, really. But we've set up things like what we spend on going out, what we spend on our groceries, what we spend on insurance, what we spend on mortgage.
Yeah.
We've got like 7 or 8 categories, and it just slots them all in, and we've got a budget, and it just tells us every month if we're on target.
Yeah.
And although we're not quite on our retirement target, we can see where our gaps are.
Yeah. So where we have to trim.
We've trimmed little bits, haven't we? And we're getting closer and closer every month.
We are. Yeah.
I've got a little video here. I did it earlier. Let me see if I can show it. Here's my videos there.
This is Snoop.
Yeah. So what I did is I just logged on. This is my phone. This is me logging on a bit earlier today. And you see when it logs in now. There's all my accounts. So I've blurred it all out so you can't see our numbers. You can see up there we've got our M&S Bank, our Amex, a couple of Santander accounts. And this is our spending line. So compares us with last month, and then it puts all the money from all them different sources into the buckets for us, and then it produces a line like that shows us where we are in terms of our targets, early in the month, late in the month. Really good, isn't it? Tells you how much emergency money you should have by analysing where you spend and what the critical bills are. And it tells you what the bills are coming up as well. So this is all really our bills this month that are coming up. So you can just scan through and say, I'm looking into the future now, as it knows, it learns when you pay your bills and shows them all for you.
Before Snoop, we tried to do it on a spreadsheet, didn't we? But this is a bit of a game changer.
It's handy. Credit score as well. The reason I like this one particularly is if you get hacked, someone steals details and tries to get a loan, and that will drop and it'll warn you.
Yeah.
Because unless we've got a loan and not paid it back, why would our credit score drop? So it just alerts you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a really good one. I'll tell you what I'll do. I haven't done it yet on this live version, but I'll put a link to our Snoop in the description.
Yeah, to the app. Yeah.
So if anyone wants to have a little look at Snoop, click the link. That'll be in the description. Not there yet, but I will do it after the video. Yeah. Okie doke. Okay, we're up to our last one here. We haven't done the beer yet. How are you doing for beer?
Oh, I'm all right. I can finish this.
It's so nice, isn't it?
It is really nice. Which is this one now?
So this is a Bass Draft, 4.8%.
Okay.
So again, I'll be careful not to shake it up. It's going to be a whimper.
What did you think? Conditioned in the bottle?
Yeah, bottle conditioned, which means it continues to develop whilst it's in the bottle. Yeah, but it just means you just need to treat it carefully.
Brought
life in this one. I don't need to pour it as vigorously.
You're not allowed beer. Oh yeah.
She loves a bit of beer.
I know. Yeah, she can have a slurp later.
We'll put the beer cam on. Let's have a little look at it. There's yours.
Thank you.
Well, we spilt a bit. She'll be there licking it all night now.
Right, the Pink, aka the Vax, is cleaning it up for us.
Yeah.
No, Pink.
Gonna get all slurpy noises on the microphones, Pink.
What is it they say? Don't work with children and animals.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yes, really
Very
nice.
nice, yeah.
Very different to the other from the other one.
These stouts are quite distinctive, isn't it?
Mm.
It's got quite a wheaty taste on this one, hasn't it?
No.
It's not quite a floral kind of wheat beer.
Yeah.
But it's got a little bit of kind of a wheatiness to it. Very nice.
Come on, Pink. Come back up.
Oh, back up here.
Come on, that's a good girl. Sit yourself down.
That saves us cleaning up.
Yeah. She's coming behind you.
Right. Pink, settle down. Right, let's have a look at this final slide here. So one of the things that when I talk to friends and family and just generally people talk to me about pensions, one of the things that they quite often mistake is how drawdown works. Now, I'm a big fan of drawdown. What I find a lot of people do is they'll get close to the retirement age, and then their employer will write to them and say, right, it's about time you went and pay yourself an annuity. You know what an annuity is?
Annuity is a set amount every month for your life.
Yeah, basically it's called life annuity or guaranteed annuity. Yeah, there's some different types, but that's the main one. That's what most people end up buying. Possibly, might be £300,000 in it, and their company will help them buy an insurance policy that says we're going to pay you, so many £100 a month for the rest of your life. And the problem with that for me is you want more when you retire initially.
In the early days when you're young enough to enjoy it. So it kind of goes back to that money, the health.
Resource.
Of
course it does, yeah. So I prefer, for me, neither of us are taking annuities. I prefer to control it myself. So with a drawdown, what you do is you put all the money into big bank accounts and then you take it out when you need it. Now, the risk there is that you take it out too quickly and run out of money, isn't it? However, we know when we get to 67, we will have our state pensions will kick in.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a buffer for us. And we also know we're quite lucky. We did some work in public sector, didn't we? And we've got
some good DB pensions.
Defined benefit pensions, which will pay out a set amount each month.
Yeah.
So we know that we're quite secure. If something went wrong, we did spend it too quickly, then we're okay, aren't we? So that's good. But people who haven't got that kind of backstop and just got a big pot of money, I would still say, rather than just putting it all into annuity, put some of it into an annuity and some of it into a drawdown.
Okay.
Because then you've got a bit of guaranteed, and then you've got more flexibility to have some more when you're younger, and then some more when you're older. I mean, I wouldn't make that decision without going to see a financial advisor, obviously.
No.
Obviously, we're not financial advisors, but it's just another tool in the toolkit for retirement, isn't it? Something to look at.
Consider.
Because I do know people who didn't know their options available. They just go, well, company says, got to fill this form in about my annuity. You want to know everything about me. Because obviously, when the insurance company decide how much they're going to pay you, they want to guess how long you want to live. So they're going to want to, do you smoke? Do you drink? Have you got any illnesses? It's quite intrusive, the form, quite detailed. But, have a look at drawdown. We've already decided we're going to go for drawdown.
Yeah.
So everyone knows with drawdown, you get some tax-free cash.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Another thing I see people do is think you've got to take it all. So they hit the 55th birthday and they ring the pension company and go, I'll have all my tax-free cash, please. Sometimes that can be a mistake. And the reason I believe it's a mistake is that what you're effectively doing is you're crystallizing your whole pension at that point. So you take all the tax-free cash, and now the crystallized pension, whenever you take that, you've always got to pay tax on it. Whereas you might want to take it out different times, so you benefit from when the tax breaks come, rather than only, you don't really want to crystallize a whole lot and pay a lot of tax in the first year, do you?
No.
So what people don't realize is that you can, the way it actually works, you've got a bank account. Say I've got £100,000 like on the screen here, but £100,000 in my bank account. I can say I'll have 25,000 tax free, and then I crystallize the lot. The lot turns.
So when you say crystallize, you mean everything after that £25,000 is subject to tax?
Subject to tax, and
is that income tax?
Yeah, no. Well, yes, it is. Yeah, so the 25% is what you don't pay tax on.
Yeah.
Everything else, you'll pay tax at your rate that you're paying tax at.
Okay.
So if you took your whole pension in the same year, there's likely a lot of it will go on 45%.
It'll go on. Yeah.
You know, so what you want to be doing, what a lot of people do, is use a drawdown account. So in this example we've got on the screen here, this person wanted £40,000 out. Didn't want to take their £100,000. So they've left £60,000 uncrystallized. Now that will continue to grow. And if it gets bigger and goes up to another 100,000, they can take more cash later on because it's uncrystallized. It can still grow. So the longer you leave your uncrystallized, the more tax breaks you get later on. The blue stuff is you've taken 40,000, you've got 10,000 free, which is 25% of 40,000. The other 30,000 is your blue, and that's crystallized. It's fixed, solid. Can't. When you take that, you're paying tax on.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a good reason why you shouldn't just automatically go for annuity. It might be right for you, but it might not. Okay. So there's the three things we wanted to talk about tonight. Well, what I really wanted to do is get stuck into this beer.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's really nice.
Do you remember what we used to do is during COVID, we used to run a gin distillery.
Yeah.
And what we used to do is we used to do a live night, because everyone was stuck at home, weren't they? They were either doing, whose quiz was it?
Jay's
quiz,
pub quiz,
quiz, or they were joining in on our Friday night gin club. So on a Friday night, we used to send four small gins out to a couple of hundred people around the country, and 4 beers, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we'd come live on, and we'd taste the beer, and everyone, as we were tasting, they'd all pour
they'd come in and join in as well. Yeah.
It's great because no one had to drive home.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
But us presenting, by the end of it, we were usually in the right mess, weren't we?
Yeah.
We had to have 4 gins.
4 gins and 4 beers. It wasn't just a sip. No.
Yeah.
I think it was what got us through COVID. COVID times.
Good times, good fun.
Yeah, but this is taking us back. So cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
David.
you very much.
And thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for listening. If you are interested in that Snoop, then I will
put the link.
I'll put a link in the bottom there. Okay, cheers, guys.
Thanks
See you on the
all.
next
Have
one.
a nice evening.